From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Oh, you bet your sweet hairless ass it is. And we've got one job that we want to get accomplished for you today. Got to get you ready for the weekend, man. Are you ready to go on another action-packed adventure? Well, it doesn't really matter. I'm going anyway. All right, here's what's on tap on the wrap. We out. What does that mean? Stick around, my fiends. We're going rapid fire with a hot topicality today because we got a bunch of it. I have a message for those of you who voted for the Red Hats, and you're not going to like this one. And have the women in this country lost their damn minds? And what should the Lakers do? Should they part ways with LeBron James or not? I have some ideas. Another round of head traumas on the way. We're going to play Liar, Liar along with our usual loose behavior. The Friday Funny is here. Celebrity Cheese, your email from our Gmail. One more thing, and we got shout-outs to Rat Nation and the Resistance coming up. For Finally Friday on the Rat's Ass Podcast. Thanks for being here. Now, Fleabag just handed me this information. These are our listener stats for April. And listening is up 42% worldwide from March. 42%. So there you go, Ian, from London. You asked me about why all the bells and whistles. That's why. It's called entertainment value. We've added that to the podcast, listening up 42%. Thank you very much for listening to the Rat's Ass Podcast. I do appreciate it. And if this keeps up, I might make enough money to buy some bubble gum. I'm thinking Orbit, Big Red. No. Juicy fruit. Make it juicy fruit. Juicy fruit. All right, here's the deal. This is our 50th episode of Season 2 of the Rat's Ass Podcast, and we're going to put a bow on Season 2 and take a break. Going to take a little bit of a break, a little siesta. Hiatus. That's Hollywood talk for vacation. Now, the plan is to start Season 3 on June 2nd. However, I will do a Wild Hair episode on Friday, May 9th, 16th, and 23rd, before getting back to 3 days a week in June. Now, the blog will be updated on a regular basis because you cannot stop me from blogging. You can also follow us on the socials for show updates. Now, if you happen to call the Rat's Ass Podcast, this is probably what you're going to hear.
You've reached the numb nuts at the Rat's A.S. Podcast. Give up your info and someone with the IQ of a jackass won't call you back.
Yeah, that's our way of saying, don't call us, we'll call you. We're taking a break. All right, there's so much hot topicality happening today. I'm going to zip through this stuff rapid fire for you. President Trump signed executive orders to cut federal funding and the tax-exempt status for Harvard. There you go, Harvard. You asked for it. You screwed with the bull and you got the horns. You happy? President Trump also signed an executive order to cut funding for PBS and NPR. Now, I disagree with this move. Now, what should happen is a change of management with new focus and direction to be more fair and balanced. I don't care if you have to rebrand them. Just don't cut them. I mean, now they got to survive on their own. So we'll see what happens. But I lived through what happened to the radio industry after Bill Clinton signed the Telecommunications Act in 1996, and it wasn't pretty. So this one needs to be reimagined. Now, Ilhan Omar told a reporter to fuck off yesterday. She's the one who wears the headwear. Reporter simply asked her about Abrego Garcia, the M13 member deported to El Salvador. Now, apparently, Omar doesn't realize who she works for. She feels she's the boss. She was elected to be the boss. No, she was elected to represent the people who elected her. And she has a responsibility to conduct herself in a respectful manner, don't you think? A simple no comment would have sufficed. So a message to Democrats. If you're asked a question you don't want to answer it, simply say no comment and keep your ass moving. Okay, be a pro. Then you got this moron from Michigan, Cherie Tenendar, who filed articles of impeachment against President Trump simply because he doesn't like the president fulfilling his campaign promises. Oh, boo-hoo. You know, if you have time, by the way, go to our TikTok page and see if you can identify who Tenendar is from Tattoo on Fantasy Island. It's blowing up there right now. I remember when Tampon Tim Walz went on stage and bashed Tesla's stock for dropping to $225 a share. I'm looking at Tesla stock. It's down to $225 and dropping. He was celebrating this on stage. Well, as of this recording of the Rat's Ass Podcast, I'm looking at it right now. Tesla stock is trading over $285. So in your face, Tim No Balls Walls. And by the way, the stock market is down less than 1% from a month ago when Trump declared Liberation Day. The VIX is down from 50 to about 22. So those of you who bought the market when I told you the VIX was at 50, and hang in there, You made some money, so you're welcome. And finally, CBS is nominated for an Emmy for that half-baked, doctored-up interview they did with Kamala Harris during the election campaign. Can you believe that nonsense? Now, I swear, these damn Democrats are like going down the aisle at Home Depot where they have all those loose screws. That's what it's like. Now, Monday is Cinco de Mayo. All of us like some tacos, a little tequila, celebrate the day. But if you run into this dipshit, there's going to be a problem.
So if you voted for the Red Hats, let me tell you something. I bet not see not Nam Cinco de Mayo post this year. Not a tequila, not a taco. I don't even want you using Miracle Whip this year. Do you understand me? Huh? Nothing. You don't even get to drink. You drink water that day. You can't even say, you got to skip past 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, bitch.
You know, nothing makes me want to put on a sombrero and whip up some tacos, burritos, and enchiladas, then wash them down with margaritas and straight tequila more than a guy whose daddy should have pulled out like that, telling me I can't. I wasn't going to celebrate, wasn't going to do it. But now I feel compelled. I'm going to go out and celebrate Cinco de Mayo on Monday. Motherfucker! Hey, did you see this survey showing 95% of women now say they want to be approached in public by men? Now, first of all, I think it's kind of a bogus survey setting men up to look like creeps, but let's say it's true. Most men don't have the confidence right now these days to walk up to a woman and strike up a conversation for fear of rejection. Can't do it. They fear getting screamed at. So guys, here's the deal. If you feel like you lack confidence to approach a woman, there is no cure like walking into a gay nightclub. You know, you feel that music pumping? You look down and your hips are automatically thrusting to the beat. Then you start making your way through the crowd of men gyrating in the aisles. You're bouncing off them like you're boarding a busy city bus. Then all of a sudden, you know you got it going on when you start hearing, yeah, then another one. And another one. Then you get approached by some guy named Philippe who says to you, you don't belong here, do you? And you say, what gave it away? And Philippe says, it was your Axe body spray.
Your Lakers lost, ha 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 ha. Here's Mojo Elliott with Rat Sports.
I know, Alexa. You don't have to rub it in. I was there, remember? Yeah, so the Lakers are out. And now we can talk about the players who should stay and go. Now I'm going to give you my thoughts on LeBron James' future with the Lakers. He is a free agent, and he commands $50 million plus per year. Now, LeBron is going to be 41. Granted, he played 70 games this year out of 82, but he ran out of gas in round one of the playoffs. Lakers haven't won playoff games with LeBron, in 3 years? 4 years? I think it is time to part way with LeBron James. I hate to say it, Laker fans, but I think it's time. He's going to be 41 at the end of 2025. Now, if he's willing to come back on a lesser contract for less money, I might consider it. Because right now the Lakers have a chance to go out and get Miles Turner from Indiana. He's 29 years old, a free agent, and he is leading Indiana into the second round right now, but he's going to be a free agent. So you go get Miles Turner, and you're going to need some of that money that you would pay LeBron to get him. Now, that's why I say if LeBron's willing to, if they go out and get Turner, LeBron takes less money, I think you got a reason to bring LeBron back. If not, if you can't get Miles Turner, I think you got to part ways and start rebuilding the organization around Luka while he's 26, and you can get it done in a couple of years. That's just my opinion on it. Now, other free agents the Lakers have to deal with, Jackson Hayes, they should bring him back. Jordan Goodwin, I think he earned to come back. Dorian Finney-Smith has a player option, which means if he opts to take the $15 million, he'll be back. So the keepers are Luka, Austin Reeves, Roy Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect. Everybody else, boo-bye. You'll have a deep bench with Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect, Jackson Hayes, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Jared Vanderbilt. And your starters would be Luka, Austin Reeves, Roy Hachimura, and you would have Miles Turner if they can sign him, and maybe LeBron. And maybe you still move off LeBron and bring in somebody to replace his scoring. But those are my thoughts on the Lakers and LeBron James. All right, checking into the NBA and NHL playoffs, the Knicks eliminated Detroit. As you know, I took the Knicks in that series. The Clippers beat Denver to tie the series up 3-3. I took the Clippers in this series, and we're going to a Game 7. God, I love Game 7s. I don't care who's playing. Game 7s are great. And I'll tell you what, the Clippers looked motivated, too, after seeing the Lakers get bounced. I have a sneaking suspicion Clippers owner Steve Ballmer offered up some cash incentives to his players because this is an opportunity for the Clippers to go deep in the playoffs and gain some respect here in L.A. In the NHL playoffs, Toronto ousted Ottawa. Okay, now I feel like I'm showing off because I took Toronto. Vegas wiped out Minnesota. I had Vegas. Edmonton eliminated the LA Kings. I took Edmonton. And we have a Game 7 alert. Colorado and Dallas are tied up 3-3 after the Avalanche smoked the Stars 7-4 last night. I have Dallas in that series, but again, another Game 7. All right, you can get my playoff picks for the NBA and NHL playoffs on the Rat's Ass Podcast blog at ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com. And that's your sports on the Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today we're going to play Liar, Liar. This is where I tell you something about myself, and you have to determine whether I'm lying or telling the truth. All right, so here we go. When I was a radio programmer / morning personality, I always had a basketball team for my radio stations. We would go out and play basketball, we'd play softball, and we'd help raise money for local schools and colleges for their athletic programs. Well, one time we had a RIF, a reduction in force. It's probably 1996-97. This is after Bill Clinton signed that Telecommunications Act, so I had to go out and form a team of ringers. So I had tryouts and everything, formed my team to go out and play. And we built a team of ringers that was so damn good, we took on a team of retired Raiders and Cowboys who lived in L.A. Now, these are guys who could still play, Rod Martin, people like that. Cliff Branch at the time. Can't remember any of the Cowboys. I'm a Raiders fan. Why would I remember Cowboys, right? But the deal was, we beat the hell out of them in Game 1. And we said, want a rematch? And they said, absolutely. So we went at it for a doubleheader night, and we beat them in Game 2. Not once, not twice. My ringers, we took out the Raiders and Cowboys 2 games in a row. All right, kick it around, think about it. Am I lying or am I telling the truth? I'll have the answer coming up a little bit later on the podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
All right, now as you know, every Friday I like to dig into my comedy archives and do the Friday Funny. Tickle your funny bone with something really good, okay? Today we're going to do one of the comedy legends, probably my favorite comedian of all time. But before I hit play, if you consider yourself to be a religious person, do me a favor and go away for about 90 seconds because this comedy bit is not for you. You need to scoot, skedaddle, and come back in about 90 seconds, okay? Now, for the rest of you heathens who stayed, here is, like I said, in my opinion, the greatest comedian of all time, George Carlin.
Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you.
Yeah, George passed away in 2008. His observational comedy was just outstanding, and I urge you to go wherever you can listen to George Carlin because his comedy, not only his observational skills are great, but he had a vision into the future. Now, at the time of his passing, believe it or not, George was as liberal as they come. That's only 17 years ago. And, I may not have agreed with George's politics, but prior to Barack Obama, we used to be able to hang out and agree to disagree on politics, and still hang out and have a few drinks and find common ground on just about everything else. But as George would say, fuck it.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, we're going to start with sad news and get that out of the way first. Comedian Ruth Buzzy has died. Ruth was on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, a regular on Johnny Carson, and the Hollywood Squares. She was a very funny lady. She was 88, so God rest her soul. All right, it appears there are a lot of eyes on this relationship between ex-New England coach Bill Belichick and his girlfriend Jordan Hudson, who's 24. Bill is 73. Now, I heard someone say they were concerned about Bill's legacy. And I thought, well, Jesus Christ, it's his legacy. He can wreck it if he wants to. But I'll tell you something else. Any 73-year-old man who's tapping the ass of a 24-year-old naughty hottie is my damn hero. I mean, he's nuts and sprinkles on top of a waffle cone, but hats off to Billy Boy. All right, British actor Russell Brand made a court appearance in London on Thursday to answer for multiple rape charges dating back to 1999. All charges he denies, of course. Now, his court appearance lasted only 14 minutes, and he was released, allowed to go free on bail. So the good news is maybe he'll finally get around to making Arthur 2. One of Nick Cannon's baby mamas said, "I'm so happy Nick decided to insure his family jewels for $10 million." Nick Cannon insured his cojones for $10 million. Now, Alyssa Scott, one of his baby mamas, said Nick hasn't seen his daughter in over a month, and if something should happen to his junk, at least his daughter would get a payout. Well, as you know, Nick has 12 kids with 6 women, and that works out to be about $833,000 per child. Now that the news is out there, though, what are the chances one of the baby mamas hires a hit? So, Nick, buddy, you need to cancel that policy and make sure TMZ knows about it. All right, Sean Diddy Combs made his final court appearance on Thursday to reject the plea deal offered by federal prosecutors. Combs' trial will begin on Monday, as scheduled. Now, Combs is charged with sex trafficking and multiple other charges, and there's still no word on what's going to happen with his collection of those 784 dildos.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Yeah, I know. Hey, by the way, in case you missed it, Britney Spears has now been single for 73 days.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, as you know, I do not read your email in advance. Fleabag forwards me your name, where you're from, and edits them down so I can read them rapid fire and on the fly. All right, Nancy M. from Golden, Colorado. Isn't that where they make Coors beer? Ooh, I love a good cold Coors. Anyway, she said, did you happen to catch the video of a Lady Gaga fan in Brazil crawling around on the ground and screaming at the top of her lungs for Gaga to come out and greet her? Yeah, I saw it, and I'm not buying it. I kind of think like it's all the facade to make Gaga look like she is godly-like a goddess. I'll bet my third nut it was a paid employee. What do you think? It's not happening anywhere else. It's probably just to drum up excitement for the show. All right, Eddie D., Lake Elsinore, California, said, what about the new data showing 35% of Californians can no longer meet their basic needs? What do you think's next for California? Well, I think you're going to see a big chunk of that 35% leaving. The game here is if the Democrats seize control in 2026 again and we don't get some balance and it's a one-party rule, I think our state's done. I think we're screwed. The lower and middle class will cease to exist within 5 years, but I honestly believe the Democrats want this. I think they want all this beauty to themselves, just like Hawaii, how they all jumped in and bought up Hawaii after the fires. These are some bad hombres, folks. And you need to have balance, and we need to vote some of these people out, meaning the Democrats in California. All right, Buddy T., Alexandria, Virginia, said there was a report out on Thursday saying the Biden administration sent $113.3 billion to Ukraine. We had no money for Hawaii, Ohio, North Carolina, and now California, but plenty for Ukraine. Doesn't that piss you off? Well, absolutely it does. And it's another reason why Trump is sitting in the White House right now. I mean, look, here's the deal. Americans don't mind helping other countries, but we want our country taken care of first, okay? We don't want to see homeless on the street. We don't want to see veterans struggling to live. We want to see that our country is taken care of first and not getting sloppy seconds to other countries. That's all. All right, Brandon C., Murraysville, Pennsylvania, said, I was at the Pirates game the other night when the fan fell out of the stands and dropped 20 feet onto the field. It was horrific. Did you see it? Yeah, I saw it, and I've never seen anything like that before. I did repost it on X, and I do wish the fan well. His name is Caven Markwood, by the way. And last report I saw said he was in critical condition, so let's hope he pulls through. All right, Kelly S. from Bismarck, North Dakota said, a friend of mine turned me on to your podcast, and the first thing I hear is how North Dakota is full of cheaters. I'll have you know that this isn't the case. We are a state full of Christians who don't cheat on their significant others. Well, I was just regurgitating the news, Kelly, but if it makes you feel any better, when I consulted radio stations in North Dakota, I never got the impression it was a state full of cheaters. In fact, I always found the folks in North Dakota to just be some of the nicest people in America. North Dakota and Oklahoma, both states that have very friendly people. Didn't really mind that I was from California. Montana, that's another story. It's all true what you see on Yellowstone. All right, Colleen H. in Seattle, Washington. Dated this guy for about 3 months and, finally something with sex. Yes. I dated this guy for about 3 months and finally decided to sleep with him, and now he will not respond to me. I'm not sure how to take this. Well, Colleen, there are some guys who simply take offense to women who make them wait for sex. Okay? They accept it as a challenge and hang in there until they get some action. It's called hit it and quit it, and I'm sorry that happened to you. But he might have been a member of the He-Man Woman Haters Club. Just be careful next time, okay? All right, if you have any questions or comments, please send them to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. And we do like them outrageous and salacious, all right? Outrageous and salacious.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, the name of the game is Liar Liar. I shared this with you when I was a radio programmer / morning radio talent. I always had a basketball and softball team that played local schools and colleges to raise money for their athletic programs. Due to a reduction in force, I was forced to build a team of ringers out of the community, out of L.A., and play a team made up of former Raiders and Cowboys who lived in L.A. And we not only beat them once, they wanted a rematch, and we gave it to them, and we beat them twice. 2 times in one night, we took out the Raiders and Cowboys team. So am I lying? Or am I telling the damn truth? What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, baby.
If you said the truth, you bet. If you missed it, go see your doctor and see them about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, I got to go. I got to split. I'm getting my ear shaped like Spock this weekend, but I do have one more thing for you. Did you know that 23% of men and 17% of women will never get married? The 60% who are married are jealous as hell, but...
I'm surprised you're still married, you jag-off.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Alexa. I detect some animosity there.
Well, you get to go on vacation while I have to sit here and wait for you like a wife.
Well, you're paid well to sit here and wait like my wife, aren't you?
Just do your little shout-outs to Rat Nation and leave me be.
Oh, I feel so bad for you, Alex. I feel so bad. Would it help if I bring you back a gift?
Oh, that's nice. I could use some lube for my 12-inch jackhammer dildo.
Oh, God. Okay, Alexa, if I can get you lubed up so you can have a good time while I'm gone, I'll make sure you get some lube. I'll send it to you, FedEx, from Amazon. All right, how's that? All right, welcome to Rat Nation. Skip Dickens of Evansville, Indiana, Aaron Pedersen from Las Vegas, Megan Harrison in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and to the Resistance, those of you who listen who haven't joined Rat Nation yet. Bradley B. of Victorville, California, Lacey G., Rochester, New York, and Nick M. of Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, the reason I give the initials to the Resistance is you have not given me permission to use your last name. Only when you become a member of Rat Nation do we use your full name on shout-outs, all right? Plus, we want to send out shout-outs around the world to our listeners in the UK, New Zealand, France, and Spain. We appreciate you listening to the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards,
All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to check out the new ratsasspodcast.com to connect with us on the socials, listen to podcasts, join Rat Nation, and read the blog. It's loaded with current events, pop culture, music, concert tour info, the radio wars, sports, our Q&A, sex and relationships, plus the Dumbass Awards for 2025 so far. Have a great weekend. I will return with Season 3 on June 2nd, but tune in next Friday for the May 9th Wild Hair episode. Thanks and take care of each other, and thanks for dropping by the Rap.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.